In the early days of World War I, the skies above the battlefields were a blank canvas. Airplanes, just a decade-old invention, were used sparingly and cautiously, their potential not yet fully realized. But as the war escalated, so too did the race to conquer this new frontier. This is the story of the first fighter planes, how they changed warfare and shaped the course of history forever. When war broke out in 1914, airplanes were little more than glorified kites with engines. Their main purpose was reconnaissance, spying on enemy troop movements from above. Pilots relied on maps, compasses, and their sharp eyes, braving the elements in open cockpits. Despite their usefulness, these early missions were perilous. Aircraft were slow, unstable, and prone to mechanical failures. Yet, the skies offered an unparalleled vantage point, and it wasn't long before opposing forces began to see each other not just as observers, but as targets. At first, combat in the air was primitive and improvised. Pilots carried pistols, rifles, or even bricks to throw at enemy planes. These encounters were chaotic and highly personal, resembling duels rather than battles. But this era of makeshift weaponry wouldn't last long. Engineers soon realized the potential of arming planes with machine guns, and with that realization came one of the most significant inventions of the war, the interrupter gear. This device allowed a machine gun to fire through the spinning propeller without hitting the blades, transforming airplanes into deadly weapons of war. In 1915, the Germans introduced the Fokker Eindecker, the first aircraft equipped with an interrupter gear. The Eindecker dominated the skies, giving Germany a critical advantage during what became known as the Fokker Scourge. Allied forces scrambled to respond, developing aircraft like the Nieuport 11, which was faster and more maneuverable. The balance of power in the skies shifted as both sides poured resources into improving their planes and training their pilots. As the war progressed, new aircraft designs emerged that pushed the boundaries of technology. The Sopwith Camel, a British biplane, became one of the most successful Allied fighters. Known for its agility and firepower, it was responsible for shooting down more enemy planes than any other Allied aircraft. The Germans, too, continued to innovate. The Albatros series combined speed with durability, while the Fokker Dr. I triplane, famously flown by the Red Baron, became an icon of aerial combat. Amid the chaos of the skies, certain pilots distinguished themselves as aces, achieving 5 or more aerial victories. The most famous of them all was Manfred von Richthofen, the Red Baron, who claimed 80 confirmed kills. But he wasn't alone. René Fonck of France, with 75 victories, was a master marksman, while Albert Ball of Britain inspired admiration for his courage and skill. These aces became legends in their own time, celebrated and mourned as heroes. Flying in World War I was as dangerous as it was thrilling. The planes were made of wood and fabric, offering little protection to their pilots. Engine failures, structural weaknesses, and weather conditions added to the risks. Parachutes, though available, were not issued to pilots, as commanders feared it would encourage them to abandon their aircraft too readily. For many, the mission meant a one-way trip into the unknown. By the end of the war in 1918, aviation had been transformed from a curiosity into a cornerstone of military strategy. The lessons learned during this period laid the groundwork for future conflicts and innovations, from faster engines to advanced weaponry. More than a century later, the legacy of these pioneering pilots and their fragile machines lives on, reminding us of a time when bravery and ingenuity first took to the skies. The first fighter planes of World War I were more than just machines, they were symbols of a rapidly changing world. In a matter of years, humanity had gone from dreaming of flight to mastering the skies in ways that would have seemed impossible just a generation earlier. Their story is one of innovation, courage, and sacrifice, a testament to the human spirit in the face of adversity. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the history of military aviation.